Hey, this is Mark at the Gem City Comic Con. I'm here with Dave Nestler. He's an artist with Disney. How are you doing?
Doing pretty good.
How did you get started as an artist and then leading up to working with the big boys at Disney?
It's actually I've been an artist all my life, over 35 years. I started traditional, working in advertising, worked in rock and roll radio for a while, and then I got into my own thing. I was actually started as a pinup artist, and I was working for Playboy. And then in the early to mid 2000s, I'd done pretty well. I had a couple books out, was in a lot of magazines with my pinup art, but then George Lucas came calling. And I worked on I was one of a lot of artists that worked on a big private book project he was doing. And you work for George, you get on a lot of people's radar. And then I got contacted by another big company in LA to do entertainment arts, for licensed properties. And I was doing that for everybody from Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Kung Fu Panda, you name it. And then Disney came calling. But I work for Disney in Japan, and my job is to produce. It's funny. I produce original art that is for, drawings and paintings that are for sale over in Asia. And the reason they got a hold of me was there's a big demand for it over there. But 85% of most artists are working digitally. It's not an original piece of art. So, they knew how versatile I was and asked me if I could do Disney, and I've been doing it for about 6-7 years now.
Now, you got some beautiful artwork I see here. What was the inspiration when you got started doing art?
I started drawing dinosaurs on the living room floor of my grandmother's house when I was 6. Then came Mad Magazine and Marvel Comics. And then I think I graduated like National Lampoon and Heavy Metal, and then it went from there. Well, I actually started drawing. I was copying stuff out of like magazines like Marvel and Mad Magazine until about 12. Then I was around 13, I started drawing my own stuff. And I was really heavy into like Rat Fink and those monsters with the big shifters and the big goofy eyeballs. It was perfect for a 13-year-old. And then just art school, art classes in high school, and then art school after that, and just kind of evolved that way.
Getting back to George Lucas, when you first met him, what was it about your art that he liked?
He liked my pinup art. It was actually one of his art directors for this project got a hold of me, and it's probably one of the most unprofessional things I've ever done in my life. The guy was talking, he told me about the project, and I agreed to do it. He goes, "I got to tell you, George is a real big fan of your work." And I just said, "The F out of here." And then I stopped myself. I said, "Dude, I'm so sorry. That was so unprofessional." He goes, "Yeah, but it was really funny." But he was a big fan of my work.
And then when you started working with Disney, the guys over there, what did they like about your work?
Versatility. I work for a company in LA called Acme Archives, and they're the ones that license all the huge properties. I mean, everything from Universal, Sony, 20th Century Fox, Pixar. And I'm the guy you can come to and say, can you do realistic Star Wars stuff? Sure. Can you do something for the Big Lebowski? It looks like a 1969 rock poster. Yeah, I can do that too. Then I did stuff for the Beach Boys and Iron Maiden. It couldn't be more yin and yang than that. And again, when Disney came to Acme looking for artists, they just pointed right to me. They said, "Ask Dave." And they came to me and said, "Can you paint this?" I said, "Give me an hour, I'll figure it out." Yeah. And about almost 225 originals later, over the course of 6 years, they've sent me over there twice already.
Of all the work you brought here today, what are some of your favorite pieces that you have here?
Still, I'm a pinup guy. That's what I enjoy doing. That's where I made my bones. That's what everybody mostly knows me from. Very realistic, pinup art.
Are you working on anything special right now?
Even though it's the Harlequin, it's still, sexy girl type stuff. But that's my favorite stuff to do is girls. I don't do a lot of comic stuff. I'm on hiatus from Disney right now, so I'm getting back to my pinup roots, and I'm doing some pinup for myself.
You've had a really good career, Dave, and it's a pleasure speaking with you. We don't want to take up too much of your time.
I appreciate it.
And this is Mark at the Gem City Comic Con with Dave Nestler.